Today on GGRated, I bring in the missus.
Me.
I'll also bring in my missus.
Hi.
Hello, welcome to GGRated. We hope you enjoy the show. Now here are the hosts.
All right.
Yeah.
What episode, Greg? What episode? Right off the dot. What is it?
22, I think. I'm not
22.
sure
Yeah, you're
because the
right.
last one.
I got it.
Okay,
I'm
cool.
for sure this time.
Yeah, because the
sure.
last one I had been on the road all day and was at Disney and was.
Yeah.
Whew,
Which was awesome, by the way, Disney. But
that was a fun one.
before we get into all that, guys, welcome to GGRated Podcast for another episode. We are joined today with some special people. My wife, Ashley, and Miss Raven, Josh's wife. So glad to have y'all here.
Glad to be here.
Say something. Say something.
Glad to be here too.
So you could say in a way of kind of maybe forcefully voluntold them to say, hey, can you come on the show a little bit to kind of give your perspective? So, Greg, tell them what we're going to be going over today, man.
So we're going to be going over what it's like to be married to a man baby. And what it's like to be married to a gamer.
Yeah.
And then also we're going to go over some news. Or we're also going to go over our favorite gaming moment of the week. And then some news. And then we're just going to embarrass our wives a lot.
That's the main purpose of all this, is to embarrass them. But no, all seriousness, I think our wives deal with a lot with us with gaming, even along with now the kids getting into the field. So I feel the field like it's a professional field, but I feel like they can give a really great perspective on everything. But first thing first, we got to talk about. We know y'all just came back from Disney. And we had the last podcast. As a matter of fact, if y'all check out episode 21, Gray and I actually did the podcast when they just showed up at Disney. So how was it?
It was great.
It was, yeah.
We walked a lot. So how many steps do you think we got?
I don't know. At least 15,000 a day.
I believe it.
Yeah.
But a lot of it was standing in lines. Yeah. A lot of it was standing in lines, but
and I ate a lot of garbage food, which was fun.
Did you get? I don't know if they know this, but you remember the chocolate banana that we used to get?
I don't like banana.
Yeah,
I did get the chocolate banana.
No, you didn't get the chocolate.
You ate like
chocolate
5
banana
of them
sandwich?
in one day.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
But you're talking about a banana covered in chocolate.
Yes, it's like an ice cream kind of banana.
You got it sandwiched.
I had a
Mickey
chocolate banana
ears.
sandwich.
Oh.
Okay.
I've never had that.
I didn't get that.
No, he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Y'all missed out.
Chocolate banana. The only thing left was
Guys,
the bread.
Welcome to GGRated, where we talk about chocolate bananas.
So
banana sandwich.
we did all 4 parks in 4 days without a rest day. Would not recommend, but that's what we had to work with. And
You need a vacation from your vacation.
Well,
exactly.
yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, I'll be right back. You keep talking.
So, and we ended up spending 12 to 13 hours a day at the parks. And
that's pretty good. Pretty long
and
time.
our boys were amazing.
I got you a present. I got it right here.
I remember you saying that, dude. What'd you get?
Yep. I got you, sir. You remember I went to Japan?
Yeah, that's
I
right.
got you your very own chopsticks.
No, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Eat your sushi.
I'll actually use that to eat my sushi for real.
Yep, there you go.
'Cause I can
you
only
can just
eat-
wash them and reuse them.
Man, that is awesome. You did not have to do that, dude. That's awesome.
Hey, man.
So if the
and they're
people
straight from Japan.
that's not on the YouTube video looking at this right now, it's got like a red wrap to it for
I
the
thought you would
handles and all. That's
like
pretty
the
cool.
red.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Try to
and then
get
it's got
some
black
Alabama in
tips.
there.
Roll Tide.
Yep.
Roll Tide.
Roll
Sorry,
Tide.
they lost. But dude, that's
and
awesome.
then
man.
also this stuff we got. This is dried squid, and we've been eating on it a
Ashley
little
would
bit.
love that.
No.
Dude, it smells awful, but it tastes okay.
It tastes
Yeah.
okay.
It smells awful and tastes okay.
That's
Smells
convincing
like
there.
fish food. Yeah.
Our dog is like right here on it. So on day 1 we went to Magic Kingdom. On day 2 we went to Hollywood Studios. Day 3 was Epcot, where we went to Japan and got the chopsticks and the squid. And then day 4 was Animal Kingdom. And by day 4, probably day 3, we were like, yeah, we're done. But day 4 we were definitely done. But because we paid for it, we went to the park.
Yeah. Yeah.
For sure.
You gotta get your money's worth for it. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
We'll be there in just a couple weeks, so.
Yeah. My daughter.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
My daughter's got a cheer competition, nationals, where they got to defend the national title. So Ashley gets to do that while I'm here doing some Mardi Gras, working some Mardi Gras.
I have to do it by myself.
We rode some really fun stuff, and we had the luxury of having grandparents there to watch the boys, so we could go.
Oh, that's
always helpful.
Yeah.
Oh, it was very helpful. And there was one ride that I actually got emotional on, man. Like I was about to cry while I was riding it because I'm such a huge Star Wars fan.
Was it the dinosaur?
No, like it was out of happiness. Like I was it was so cool, man. It was the Star Wars. I think it's called the Smuggler's Run, or no, it's not the Smuggler's Run. It's the other one. It's like a really long one too, because you start off in a room, then you go to another one, and it's really interactive.
Resistance.
And
something resistance.
So there's one part of it where you're on a cart thing, and you end up going by like some of those big giant robots, the ATSTs. And for just a minute there, I was fully immersed, and I was like, I'm actually here. I'm actually in the Star Wars world.
You ride under. You ride you're on a cart that like some kind of magnetic cart, and you ride underneath the big legs,
giant
and
things.
They're up, so you're looking.
I was looking around, and I was like, I'm on a spaceship right now.
Yeah,
going under this thing.
The coolest.
It was a dream come true. Like I felt like a kid again.
Was you?
It was really fun.
Obviously, this is probably a stupid question, but I guess you was a big Star Wars fan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So tell you a little quick story real quick is and Ashley's gonna know who I'm talking about, but I have a guy here that works with me with MPD, right? And his name is G, I'll say, and he's a really big Star Wars fan too. Like he would get he would probably get emotional just like you're like with the ride and all. Like he's a huge Star Wars fan. And we went in the same academy class, and I was telling him, I was like, man, I just don't get the Star Wars thing. Like I never watched the movies really, I always saw like here and there and stuff, and people just love it, but I'm just not going to go back. Like, how do I know which one to start with and which one to end with? So what he did one day, he had all of them on DVD. He gave me the whole set. And because he did that, I actually took the time at one point in our old house, when we was in our old house, and I watched all of them. And I will say the story is really good, right? The story. Yeah. But I think I kind of watched it a few decades too late because of the graphics, maybe, because, they changed the CGI, I guess, is a little bit different. But I can't keep up with it like a lot of people, but I can see now where people are coming from with story. I used to be like, oh, they're just, why are they so obsessed with story? But I can see where they're coming from now. It's not my thing, but I can definitely see why people and kids just absolutely love it because the story is just so good. They really did the story right.
That whole story of redemption too, like between father and son.
Yeah.
And it just hits hard, man. Yeah. Love it.
Shep, that's all he talked about was that ride. And the very first day, the very first ride he was on was the Dwarves Mine Train. Have you ever rode that?
Yes.
Okay. Mistake.
Yeah.
Right? Huge mistake.
Yeah. We rode that with
to be
Addie
fair,
with you?
To be fair, I had never been. I had never ridden it before, been on it before. And we were with our niece and nephew, and they're like, oh my God, it's going to be so much fun. It's going to be so much fun. So we got in the park early, and we got in line for that one because it's the most popular, or one of the most popular. And we got on it, and I realized it's a roller coaster. And I was like, okay, it's too late now. Poor Shep. He is terrified. He's like, I want to go home. I want to go back to the hotel and go swimming. And so that's all he wanted to do that whole day. And so the next day when we were at Hollywood Studios, we convinced him to ride that Star Wars with us. And he's like, is there any drops? Is there any drops? Is there any drops? No, there's not going to be any drops. Well, there was a drop.
Oh, no.
And it was the coolest, though, because
You
you're
lied,
sitting
Mama.
in the
You
car.
lied.
I know. Well, I didn't know. We didn't know.
I know.
We
I
didn't
know.
think so. But anyways, we were sitting in the car, and it drops you to launch you out into space. And so it wasn't as scary as the mine train.
Yeah.
But that's all he talked about after. He's like, I did the drop and I wasn't scared.
And on that one, I was right beside him, so I could kind of tell him, like, hey, buddy, this is supposed to be fun. Because if you have never rode a ride like that before and you look around and everybody's screaming, you're like, oh my God, I'm about to die, because you're only 5.
So-
It's like
So
you don't have
know.
any context for
Right.
it, you know? Yeah.
I have to tell you, I mean, what you're talking about right there is exactly what kind of happened. So Addie was like 5, 6.
Yeah, we had our
5,
niece
6,
Alyssa with us.
First time going to Disney. All right. First time, just like kind of like y'all doing with your kids. And we brought our niece Alyssa with us as well. Okay. So long story very short is we decided to go on this dinosaur ride. They like dinosaurs when they're young. And this dinosaur ride.
It was
So we get on there and I decided to ride with Ashley doesn't go.
No, yes, I do go.
Oh, you on the other side. That's right.
I'm with Addie and you're with
So
Alyssa.
we're all on the, yeah. So Alyssa's with me. So we're going through and it's so bad that I start thinking it's so bad when you're in the line, you start seeing like videos of it, warnings and stuff. And I'm like, me and Ashley's looking at each other. I'm like, we're in here now. We're too late.
Like
Get
y'all
back.
said, too late.
Too late. So as it starts going, it's so bad. There's like huge dinosaurs breathing fire. It looks like the world's about to end with like meteors falling down and stuff. We got swung from left to right so hard that their ponytails flew out.
Yeah, Addie had like braided
Oh my
pigtails.
God.
And by the end of it, the ponytail holders were gone. I mean, they were gone.
I was holding on to them with their face just straight like into my chest, not looking at
Oh,
any.
You know how like you can go back and look at the
Wow.
photos or whatever, the photo pass. I don't know if you all know about that, but the people who were on our photo pass probably got a kick out of the pictures of all of us. Because
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just like
That's
holding
great.
Addie. And, yeah,
So
I get it.
They
That's
always
awesome.
make fun of me till today about the dinosaur ride.
And as a matter of
they
fact,
still remember.
Addie came in whenever y'all started talking about scary rides. I could see she came out the door and looked at us talking about scary. She gave us the look. It was about, and she's 13 now, so
yeah.
she's still.
That's crazy.
Well,
we were gonna ride terrifying, and then I was standing in line with Shep to ride something very like a kid's ride, and this lady behind me, she's like, "Hey," I was asking her, "What rides do you recommend here?" And she's like, "Do not ride the dinosaur ride."
Oh.
We took our son when he was 5, and it terrified him.
That was about
And
there.
They get you. They get you.
We missed that.
Well, I'm glad y'all had fun in
Me
Disney,
too.
though. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It's something your kid's not going to ever forget. I'll tell you that for sure. Hopefully, I just don't have to, go like 8 times like Ashley has been. Like 8 times after 8
No.
times.
We're
you're
good
like,
for like the next 5 years, I think.
I get
We're
it.
Yeah, I
good.
want to go back for a while.
I
Yeah.
get it.
Well, hey, with that being said, I think we got some great stuff, guys. We got that out of the way. We got some talked about some awesome stories with Disney. I think that these girls are going to have some awesome perspectives in reference to how they deal with us being gamers later on in the show. But right now, you want to go into the gaming moment of the week?
Let's do it. Gaming moment of the week. Gaming moment of the week brought to you by my wife, Raven. I get to kiss her when I want, and it's great.
I have no sponsor.
What? I don't get it. You lost me.
I lost her. Let's go. I'll go with my first gaming moment. It's pretty simple. A little Apex. Haven't done much this week. Been kind of a little busy this week. I've been on call.
Yep.
Literally just got back before this podcast in reference to a carjacker where he lied and did not get carjacked. But so I've been a little busy this week. But I gotta say, the best moment I had, everybody went to bed, played a little Apex. had a couple of randoms in there. One of them was speaking like Japanese or something. Didn't understand them. But let me tell you something. This guy, he could have been. I almost added him as a friend, even though I couldn't understand anything he was saying. But because he revived me like 3 times in this game, and we ended up getting like top 3. I mean, it was just the most awesome teammate for not even. He was talking now. It's like, nobody has mics these days. When they play in these games. But this Japanese guy had like a Chinese Japanese guy had a mic, and he was talking like crazy. He might have been talking smack about me. I don't know. But he was always reviving me. And I remember going up against a 3v3, which, girls, if y'all know that, it's like 3 people and then another team of 3 people playing against me.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Yeah,
makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense. But we ended up winning it somehow. So it was a pretty cool little moment. Had a little fun, and that was just cool. Right before I went to bed. So, and I always have to mention,
like, what you're saying is that if we want to bond with another country, let's just say that the U.S. has an issue with another country, all they need to do is play some Apex, and everything will be all right.
Because you got to unite underneath one thing, right? What is something that's in common to all of us? We're all gamers inside, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Life's a game.
Thank you to our sponsor for One United for this message.
United.
See the arms going with the heart.
Yeah.
What's your gaming moment of the week, man? Wait, should we ask my wife first and see what her gaming moment of the week was?
Ask her.
Did you play any games this week?
I totally did. I played Donkey Kong, and I won, and it was awesome. You can't beat me if you try.
Guys, I'm going to go ahead and give you a heads up just real quick and let you know my wife is not a gamer, okay? She is not, but she has a twist on all this, so we'll talk about it a little bit later. Gray, what you got, man?
All right, my game moment, I would say probably involved me finally beating the main storyline. I wouldn't even call it a story. Like the main jobs for Mars Space Logistics, where you got to build different robots and transport items across Mars. Yeah. So primarily, I played this game most of the time in the car on the way to Disney and on the way home.
Whole time in the car?
My beautiful wife drove, most of the way so that I could sit back and play games.
That's a good wife right there.
I paid for the trip, and she drives us to the trip. So, it just worked out.
Okay. Yeah. Wait, so you're saying she drives?
Anyway. Shh, don't get any ideas.
She drives?
Well, she drove most of the time. Like I drove a couple hours, but she drove.
I didn't do it willingly. Let's just say that.
Yeah. Well, I had a game.
You started that. You put your foot in your mouth on that one, man. For the next trip.
But anyways, Mars Space Logistics was a fun game. I enjoyed creating different robots and stuff, and I would say that once you leveled up in the game to where you had rockets, it made it into a whole different game because you're jumping. What I did in my strategy, you had to find the right balance of holding this item on your bot and then putting rockets on it so that you could fly and land to different areas and get more fuel so that you could go to another area and then eventually get to your destination. And that loop of me doing that, dude, like it was addictive. I mean, hours would just fly by. I ended up bringing my new battery bank that I just got and plugging it up and just, having a great time.
Well,
so
you've been playing that for a long time too. Like you've been putting in some hours on that thing.
2 weeks, it's had me hooked.
Mm-hmm.
So I played it a lot. I still have a bunch of other missions I can do, but the main ones I finished. The game is still in alpha, so hopefully there's going to be a lot more content. But yeah, I would say that was my gaming moment of the week, getting through that the main missions of Mars Space Logistics.
Nice, dude.
So there you go.
Yeah.
What about you, honey?
So, the most recent game I played was Marvel Snap. And
yeah, Josh got me into that game.
I actually didn't play many games at Disney because I was the keeper of the directions in the minutes that you had to wait in line. But in the moments that I did play, I played Marvel Snap, and
it was in line and stuff, right?
Was it?
Like
Yeah, there were some moments where I did. And I'm getting pretty good at it. I like the strategy of it.
Yeah.
And there's sometimes I think there's some luck with it, but for the most part, it's strategy. And I like strategy games.
Do you usually play card games and stuff? Do you like card games? Like playing a lot of card games?
I like card games.
Okay.
And
yeah, I know Ashley.
I'm not much of a.
I should have said from the get-go, instead of playing games, I should have asked Ashley what's something else she might like. And I think I should have put, if you can throw puzzles in as a game.
I'm like a 90-year-old woman stuck in a 35-year-old's body. Read books and do puzzles.
There's a sweatshirt I saw that I thought about you. I also thought about myself, but it says grandma energy.
Yes, I need that. That is so me. I need that.
I guarantee you there are puzzle games on Steam.
Oh,
you could download and play.
Look at you. That's what I'm talking about.
It's kind of like reading a book.
That's why he's my buddy right there.
It's kind of like reading a book on a Kindle. It's just not the same. I need the actual book or I need the actual puzzle.
Yeah, but she does use the Kindle. I did get her a Kindle.
Yeah, I do use it. I do use it, but I still prefer the actual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that Snap, you can ask Gray. I can show you a few things how to win, mostly on Marvel Snap. If you want me to?
Okay. Hey man, I got a brand new deck I just built, bro. Come get some any day.
Hey, we had a tournament and I won, didn't I?
I know you did. You probably did. You probably did. I'm just kidding.
Shut up.
Well, that's
dude. Good. I played a lot in line. It was a great way for the time to pass, waiting in line to go ride a ride. And it's a property that's owned by Disney, so it was it was the perfect fit.
I don't know about you, but like with cell phones, I feel like that is where cell phones just thrive. Right on the small sessions, you don't need every big thing like a PC or anything like that. It's the little miniature games, the gotcha kind of games that like, hey, I'm sitting at a doctor's office waiting for the doctor to come in. You don't want to bust out a handheld, big giant handheld, and start a game.
Yeah.
You can play these games like these strategy games or these card games and, enjoy it, enjoy your time and feel like you're not just sitting there just staring at a wall, so
exactly.
It does have
I got
perks.
My nephew to download it. And he played some with me in the line. So, yeah, that's an easy game to get into. And my wife, it's really cool that she does play that some. And, we're going to keep battling it out for the rest of this year for sure.
Good luck, Greg.
Raven's going
to win. He's clocking in more hours than I can. But
yeah. Well, with that gaming moment of the week, you want to move into your gaming news of the week?
Yes. Go ahead and move us into gaming news.
Gaming news. Ba 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 ba.
She kind of got the sound pretty right, didn't she?
Dude, that was pretty good. Ba ba ba. So, something that happened in the past few days. So today is January 1st, 2024, and this happened a few days ago. A 13-year-old boy has officially beaten Tetris, the original NES version of Tetris. He has beat it. It was said that level 29 was about the highest you could go on this game, like humanly possible. And by the looks of it, somebody has went past that before, but he actually went to such a high level that the game locked out. Like, it was done. You couldn't get any more points. He officially beat the game, broke it. And he's only 13 years old. He went to level 146.
Wow.
And he got all the way to that level and activated the kill screen, which meant the game is over. And he was first. He's the first one to do it in 30-something years. I mean, cool. The game has been out for that long. Yeah, really cool.
This is NES, the regular Nintendo, right?
Yeah, and it was live on stream. Like, he was actually streaming it too. So you see the moment that he does it.
I was going to ask you that, is if you saw the video on that, and his reaction is so genuine.
It's
like
priceless.
He is so excited about that. And I think that's what I really love to see. I wonder how long it took him to do that, though, playing that.
I don't think it took that long. I'm just going to read a bit of this article. This is coming from thegamer.com. So this was January 2nd. And already gaming history is being made. A 13-year-old has beaten the original NES Tetris, previously thought to be an impossible task after 34 years. Let's see here. So what was the question?
How long did it take him?
How long did it take him? Yeah, I think it says it. It's called the True Kill Screen because for decades it was assumed that level 29 was the kill screen. For context, the longer you play Tetris, the faster the blocks fall, upping the ante as you're forced to think in split-second moments about where each piece should drop. The speed cap at level 29, making it near impossible to reach the sides. So the community believed that this was the end of the game. It isn't. The end comes when you reach a level so high, Tetris simply crashes. So
it says at the top, the teen achieved this feat after 38 minutes of gameplay.
38 minutes. There you go. Okay, good find. 38 minutes. That's crazy.
Yeah, dude, 38 minutes. I mean, that's not long for a game. But also, they said that, I don't know if you knew this, but in 2021, the AI program called Stack Rabbit forced that kill screen that we're talking about that this human actually did, this 13-year-old actually did. So it took an AI all the way until 2021, and AI had to beat the game, I guess you can call it, with a kill screen. But then a 13-year-old is the first person to do it. January 2nd, you said? That's crazy, man. That'd be like the age of my daughter doing that.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Really cool. And I wonder, where this is going to take this kid. He could potentially ride this wave out and make some sort of a career out of it. So more power to him. That's really, really cool.
Well, we already have some people making comments, like the older generation made comments I saw on the news about he needs to go ahead. It's great he did it. He needs to go out and get some fresh air now, and
Yeah.
And I get it. I think I get where they're coming from, but at the same time, it's like, let the kid enjoy it. He probably worked. I mean, that's pretty hard to do,
Oh, man.
Tetris used to be so popular back in the day.
Oh, I played the version that had Yoshi and you were dropping eggs and stuff. And it's basically like Yoshi's version of that game. And it was really fun. I played it on the original Game Boy, like the brick thing. It's a classic.
Yeah.
So
did you ever play Tetris before?
Yeah, I don't know. We used to have a Sega Genesis, and I know there was Sonic the Hedgehog on there.
Yeah.
And somehow, I don't know, I don't remember if I had to change the game out for Tetris, but there was Tetris on there, and I did play that. I did enjoy that game. But.
Yeah.
They had did you ever see the documentary with Tetris?
No, and I think they came out with a movie about it.
Yeah, maybe that's what I'm talking about.
That might be the thing that you're talking about.
Yeah, it
came out a couple years ago.
Yeah, and it was talking about they was trying to beat the Russians. I think it was a big deal about beating the Russians to Tetris, and it ended up, I don't know, we ended up doing it, but they had to do a bunch of lawsuits and all. But that and Mario and Donkey Kong actually really got Nintendo. That's the main games that you remember on the regular Nintendo that really got gaming going from the very get-go. So it's really cool. You not only have a 13-year-old that could be playing Roblox or Fortnite or something, playing the old Tetris and beating that game. I think that's what makes it even. You would think you would hear like a 60-something-year-old, or something beating that game, but not a new 13-year-old.
I don't know. Yeah, and I don't know if there's any game that I've played that much to where I could be that good at. Maybe some come to mind, but there's always, it seems like, somebody better doing something crazy. If you were to look up that game online, are there any games like that for you that's you think you're probably top 10 in the world at, or anything like that?
Ooh, man, that's a good question. Just of like playing. No, I probably think I'm top 10, but I'm probably like top 1 million of it. I really love one of my favorite characters and all, and Ashley can probably guess what it is if I just ask. What do you think is one of my favorite gaming characters?
I don't know.
What do you take a guess?
Sonic.
Absolutely. So that's my favorite. It's always has been. Yeah, I'm proud of you. You got that right, But playing the Sonic with the speed trials and stuff like that, I used to get like really into that sort of thing. Kind of like you with what's that trial? Mirror's Edge. Like you absolutely, man. The stuff y'all do in that game to cut the time is just crazy. So
every split second counts.
But that would have to be the game that I always wish I was a
back
Pac-Man,
in the day,
but I don't know.
Speaking of Pac-Man, this is kind of I'm sorry. When I at the dentist office when I was growing up. They had one of those old school Pac-Man machines, and kids would be a line in the waiting room at the dentist office of the kids. I mean, just waiting to play Pac-Man. I don't know. That's what I always think of when I hear Pac-Man.
That's a cool dentist office.
Yeah, no kidding.
Wow, that's awesome.
But what about you, Josh?
I would say that back in the day, I probably put the most hours on Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. And I was pretty dang good at that game, man. Like, it came to a certain point where almost every game I could get an 8 in a row score streak, where I would drop the emergency airdrop. And I played that a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, that was like my go-to game. And
I can see that because there was a lot of playtime on that stuff. And honestly, I mean, if we're going like more modern. With me, I think it would probably be like an NCAA football, but local. I cannot say, online and stuff. But if I played you in NCAA, I would trash talk about 20 times before we played and then try to beat you, So that was my go-to. Yeah. So Modern Warfare 2 for you with having that, I can believe that 100% because, I mean, that's when we had the most time on our hand and stuff when that game kind of came out.
Yeah.
And that was fun.
What age are you talking about for that?
Early college, I think, maybe.
Yeah, it was even before that for me. I think I might have been close to graduating or
18, 19 years old, yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, like I didn't have much to do.
before they knew
I was at home a lot. I mean, I did work, but I still had a lot of free time.
Exactly. Well, yeah, I mean, the thing I have to mention one game. It's not a video game, but the one thing that I do remember with Ashley that she is extremely competitive with is foosball, the foosball table and stuff. Like we used to at my fraternity, we used to have in the party room. We used to have a foosball table, and so when we started dating, and when she comes over, and I'm not even kidding, I'm not gonna lie. I knew she was a winner at that point, but she would get on the table and just beat everybody at foosball. I mean, every brother, every person that tried her, like she's like undefeated on the foosball table, like ferocious. I thought she was gonna flip the table up at one point, probably. But
a secret hidden talent. Kind of like you can juggle.
Yeah.
You can juggle?
You can juggle.
I can juggle.
You can juggle?
Yeah.
You know how I know how to juggle?
That's embarrassing. Don't tell them.
Yeah, I need to tell you. You know how I know how to juggle?
How?
When I went to Huntington College, playing ball up there, right? They signed me up for one of my, what's it called?
An elective?
Elective. One of these electives. I had to do elective. And the elective had 3 things in it. It had juggling, golf, and something else. All right. So it was the most ridiculous elective I've ever heard of, but it was awesome because I actually learned how to swing the golf club, which I still to today love golf. And then I learned how to juggle. And the way they teach you is you get tissues in your hand. And you flip the tissues, and it takes longer for it to come down. So they get you in the motion. And when you get in the motion of it, I can't believe I'm explaining juggling right now. What have you done? So,
dude, I never thought I want to learn how to juggle.
Yeah, and cool. Then you go for something. You gotta get bigger. The
How much did that elective cost you?
I don't know. My mom.
$5,000 to learn how to juggle.
Thank you, Mom and Dad, for paying for the first year. Thank you very much. But yeah. So I ended up learning how to juggle, and every time I don't know how, but she gets me to juggle for people half the time. So.
Yeah, anyway, sorry.
Guys. I'm still waiting to be able to find a situation to use juggling, but I haven't found one situation yet. So.
Oh, man. You could do it live right now.
Yeah.
I can't do
That's a pretty good situation. Juggle.
What am I going to juggle? This crab dip? What am I going to juggle?
I don't know.
Okay, next time.
But
next time I'll be more prepared.
Okay. Dude, that would be awesome.
That'd be funny.
And before you were talking about foosball, all I could think about was Bobby Boucher's mom. Foosball is the devil. And I found the clip, and I'm just going to play it for the audio-only listeners. Actually, it's coming out of another speaker, but...
Oh, we can't hear it, unfortunately.
Okay.
No.
Foosball is the devil.
Our daughter just brought oranges.
Oh, nice. Thank you, Addie. That is perfect.
Let me see if this will work. Let me see.
Do it.
I'm about to do it sitting down. Really? All right.
You're about to fail miserably.
Let me see if we can do this.
You're gonna make your mom proud of that $5,000.
Ready?
That's
gonna be on pop.
A little rusty.
I know.
You better go back
Yeah.
I got to. That was it. While sitting down.
Thank you, Addie.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Oh
Very
my god.
Yeah.
Standing up is a little bit more when you can throw it up higher.
I hadn't done it in a
I
few years.
was about to say, I bet standing up because you can kind of like walk around and catch it and stuff.
Couldn't get the camera up. It was kind of stuck. But anyways, yeah, I will say I can juggle, but
although you couldn't tell from that.
No.
So to circle back about playing games when we were kids, I have very fond memories of playing Donkey Kong, like really playing Donkey Kong.
Mm-hmm.
I had a lot of gaming consoles. I had like the Nintendo, the old one where you would blow in it and stick it down the top. So I had like Mortal Kombat and Mario, and I'm not sure what else there, but then I graduated to Donkey Kong. And I think that was on maybe like something purple.
Super Nintendo? Yeah, it has a purple on it.
Probably.
Nintendo,
it was like gray.
Like gray and
yeah,
purple.
gray and purple.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say, I don't want to be confident enough to say I beat Donkey Kong, but there are levels that I cannot get to anymore that I remember. It's like core memories of levels.
Oh, it was hard.
I mean, we had nothing better to do but sit around and do stuff like that.
Yeah. And then I remember PlayStation. Need
for Speed?
Maybe. It was a racing game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My grandmother had a PlayStation. She did.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she did.
Tell them about your grandmother now, even now. Like she plays, like we set it up.
Well, she hadn't played in a few years, but I mean, one year, that's what she wanted for Christmas. And my mom and her sister, so my grandma's two daughters, her PlayStation, and she used to play it.
Wow.
Guys, she had me go over there because her batteries ran out, and her, you know how you plug into the PlayStation, and it has like an IR sensor on it, and that's the wireless controller. You have to have it plugged into like the little port, and then it connects. It's not Bluetooth. There was no Bluetooth, so her batteries went out in it, and she had me one day when I went over there. She had me doing that, you know. She had me go over there, change that out so she can play this casino game. There's this casino game that she plays on there, and she turned it on, she got on there, and I mean, how old is your grandmother now?
Now she's like 87.
87 now, but this had to be like 4 years ago, 4 years ago.
She was probably in
she was in her
50s or 60s playing video games. I don't know.
No, she was in there not long when she was in the new house that she's in.
Was she?
And I literally changed it. She sat on the couch, she grabbed the controller, and I'm like, what is going on here? And she's just playing. She's just playing it, man. And I'm like, okay, right, that's good.
I gotta play my PlayStation. Dude, she would be a popular streamer if she ever started streaming.
Oh, so popular.
People would.
Can you
love
imagine?
That.
But
I would
think
love
about
that.
it. Do you know? I tell Eugene this all the time. I'm like, are you gonna be old and play video games? Because I don't know anyone old other than my grandma.
Hold that thought.
playing
Hold that thought.
video
We're going
games.
to next. Hold that thought. There we go. We are now going to go into, let's talk about how you really feel about having a gamer husband over here, okay?
Perfect transition.
Yeah, you
Perfect
like that,
transition.
don't you? You like that, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
So what are you saying?
Nothing. I was just
He's
saying.
lying.
I was just saying. Have you ever thought about old, like when you're older? I'm talking.
She says that all the time to me,
I'm like,
and it's actually a pretty good question.
You don't ever hear about older people playing video games
because it's this generation is kind of the new generation that kind of grew up with video games, right?
Right.
So, are we going to be those guys or those people that all these people that's playing it? It's even making money. People are making money with gaming now. Are we going to be the ones that? While we're sitting there 80 years old, man, like you just said, I gotta get that kill 2v2. Come on, pick me up, revive. You know?
Dude, so I've been lately, this has kind of come up in my mind because I think the gaming industry is like one of the biggest that there is. You know, like it makes billions upon billions every year. And I think the technology that's going to be out by the time we're older is going to be drawing in more and more people. I mean, look at VR. You had folks trying that who would probably never play games. And by the time we're older, you know, like we might be jacking our heads into something so that we can be inside this game. I mean, I don't know if I want to do that, but who knows what's going to be out by then. It's just interesting to think about. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, because I feel like a lot of people in their 30s, in their mid to late 30s, grow out of video games.
Right.
Like they're like,
except for these two.
That's no, Raven, you hit that on the spot. I mean, we can probably name friends that we've been friends with, and there's some of mine, like Dustin. You know, I'll say his name.
Friends.
We have some friends that have, you know, they used to play all the time, and then they just quit. You know, I mean,
life gets in the way.
Life gets in the way, or maybe kids, it's just you know, it's not
your thing anymore.
Because I've said it millions of times that this is kind of my relief and my hobby. I have fun with it. I enjoy it. It's my form of entertainment. Just like somebody else they might enjoy that better form of entertainment with watching Netflix.
Absolutely.
Or reading books.
Yeah.
Everyone likes different things.
Right? And I feel like some of my buddies, we still hang out, you know, off the screen, you could say. But, you know, I mention all the time, man, you remember those days we used to get on and we'd join up and stuff like that? But they'd be like, yeah, I need to get me one of those Xboxes, man. Well, which one is it out? Which Xbox is out now? You know, and you know at that point that they're not really that serious about it. They got other priorities, and that's okay.
Yeah.
You know, but you hit that on the nail, Raven, for sure. Like people just they grow out of it some of them grow out of it at a certain age.
Yeah. I think it's growing out of it, and I also think that pressure from what others might think of you playing games
and even
might
spouses.
get to some folks too.
I mean, some people may
even
experience
spouses.
that with their spouse.
Yeah. Some might not be supportive of that.
Correct.
You know? I mean, you know, that is one thing I will say with my wife, with Ashley, is, you know, since I've even started doing it, I had my own room before we had our second kid and all that stuff. Like, she made space for me to be able to do that and gave me time if I wanted to do that. Now I do want to say this, though, and just throw it out there, is my priority is not gaming, right? As much as we enjoy it, we want it to be and all, it's not. It's always family first. If it comes from, hey, I need to do this, or family, it's always going to be, oh, I need to take care of this with the family first before, right?
You have your responsibilities first and then game.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of the reason why it doesn't bother me that much. So you take care of the things you're supposed to take care of, then when time allows.
And then
gaming.
When it comes after time of taking care of the kids, putting them to bed, all this kind of stuff, or like we have time for ourselves and she's watching the show, something like it doesn't, I wouldn't say in a sense of allowing me, but she knows, hey, that's my thing. That's my joy. That's what I like to do, and we have other things together, but I think that's how it works for us. And
then at night when it gets too late and he's too loud, I just go in the room, turn on the box fan, drown it out.
Get too loud. But Raven, I have a question for you real quick.
Okay.
So when did you first realize, it's kind of a double question. When did you first realize that Josh was that was into this gaming, and actually enjoyed playing games? And then secondly on that, once you realized that, did it take some adjustment to get used to that?
Yeah. So before I met Josh, I had always dated guys that were football coaches or that loved football. Generally, they all did. So when I met Josh, I noticed that was the first thing I noticed about him. I was 22 when I met him, and he was 26, I think. We don't know. We get confused. I think that's right.
25, maybe.
Maybe 25, yeah. And so, so I have memories of me sitting in his office with him playing, Don't Tell Me.
I don't know.
Okay. It was, why did I forget this? It was the simulation game of the military where you would get dropped off and you would have, the zones would get smaller and smaller. You're not going to tell me the name of it, as I told you not to.
I recently went back to this game and it still slaps, man. It's pretty good.
Oh, I already know that.
PUBG.
Oh yes. Okay, so I have memories of me. When I met him, I was in nursing school.
It was huge when it first came out.
It was. It was the first battle royale. Honestly,
game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he would be sitting at the computer doing his PUBG, and I would have my feet in his lap, and I would be sitting in his comfy round chair. We don't have it anymore. Studying, and it never bothered me. It was such a big difference than what I was used to. And so I have the best memories of us. That was our quality time together.
Yeah, because she studied all the time.
I had to. I was in nursing school.
And she passed.
But he would rub my feet. He would play, and then he would rub my feet. And I just have the best memories of listening to him talk to his friends. And so he always made a priority of, it was usually me studying was a good excuse for him to game. But then when I graduated, we kind of figured that out. But I'm the same as Ashley, though. So I do appreciate having some time by myself because he works nights. So he usually only games, for the most part, he usually only games on the weekends and at night after the boys go to bed. Sometimes during the day, too. I don't like that as much as I like for him to game at night. So I get my alone time. The only thing I don't like, I'm straying from the question, but the only thing that I don't like is he gets caught up in it for hours and hours and hours and hours. But for the most part, I'm fine with it because he does make family a priority.
Yeah.
I don't have to study anymore, so sometimes I get bored waiting on him to get finished gaming.
That's why I got her own Steam account now, and it's like she is making the effort to join me up here when it's my chill time.
Yeah.
And then after the boys are in bed, to where she has her own area right here at the desk too. So
she's kind of
one day.
She's kind of, and I don't mean to cut you up, but she's kind of getting to the point of kind of joining to kind of see what it's about, kind of.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out like my groove because he got me a game that was
Stardew Valley.
Yes, but I don't think I like the 2D. I don't think I like the top. I don't think I like that.
You need something more exploration in the 3D world.
Maybe I do. I want to.
Josh is growing.
I want to figure out what I like. I know I like something. I used to love Kingdom Hearts.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was probably in like middle school, high school, but now I don't like fighting. I don't care for fighting. But I do like the storyline games. But to go back to what you asked, I think from the get-go I realized he's a gamer.
Yeah.
And I had never met anybody that was a gamer on a computer. And it was so cool, too, when I met him. I was kind of fascinated.
Did that take any adjusting once you realized that? Of like, okay, I haven't dated somebody like that. And you see that he's kind of into it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because, I mean, when you're a gamer, usually you're in a room by yourself for a while. And I know some guys or girls probably don't realize time goes by
fast,
and you don't realize how long.
I tell her that all the time.
You're in something. And
and even that whole thing of like, I'm a gamer, like that just sometimes that's a bit cringe to me because it's like I don't consider myself like that's not my title. I'm not gamer. I'm Josh. I'm a dad. I'm a husband.
First, I'm sure.
But I'm a believer. Like those are the things that kind of define me. And but gaming is something like you that it's my time to chill. It's my time to just like watching a movie. I can experience a story.
I think the biggest struggle that I have with it is that there are not many people. Maybe it's where we live, but there are not many men his age that do this. It's something that I feel like he finds it hard.
Can't relate to other people.
Yeah. They don't have anything, they don't have much to talk about because there's all the men here like football or they like coaching sports with their kids or something along those lines. And so I do find that that's difficult.
Well, I will say even here, what I've realized is there's people that play games and stuff that I might know that play games. But a lot of the people that do, they have their own kind of personalities in a sense, and I'm like, it's not the same. Like I love sports, you can ask her. I love sports. I love football. I watch Bama football. We're playing a softball game in a couple of weeks against, our old KA actives and stuff. So I'm a big sports guy, but I also love gaming and stuff. So speaking of like my personality like that, it's kind of a mixture, right? And you don't usually get a mixture. You get one way or another of people. And sometimes that can be kind of a turnoff to me of like, hey, I'm the sports guy and all this stuff. But like when I'm playing with you, it's great with gaming and stuff. I like playing gaming, but it's like the only person I really talk to with that is only a couple people that I can do that with, because other than that, you can only talk so much about, we're playing this game with Apex. Like and I even have to tell my daughter that. It's like, look, you got to be, because she loves the game. She loves playing games, but if she's 13, it's like, hey, you can't just go up to somebody and be like, you won't believe what I did on Roblox last night. Like they're gonna look at you like you're crazy, compared to
some different stuff.
If you go up to somebody here in Alabama like us, Gray and Raven, it'd be like, hey, did you see that game last night? Now that is a more of a conversation starter than going up and saying what you did on the game.
Or even like hunting,
anything.
That was one thing I was just about to mention, because I like to hunt and I like to fish and I like to ride off road and I like to camp and all that stuff. And that's always something that you can bring up is like, hey, dude, check out my deer camera. I got this big buck on it. I mean, that's an easy way for me to talk to guys, because like most guys love that.
Probably. Yeah.
So it's not like it's the only thing I do, but it's something that I think it can be something really deep to get into with others that enjoy it too, because it's hard for me and you, Gino, to go like hunting together. Like we have to plan that out. It's hard for us to go and go outside,
go camping,
to these different things, and
what's hard with that is
to go camp.
Is you and me have so much in common that's very unusual. I know you're not into the sport. We did play sports together, right? So you have an understanding of that, right? You like hunting like I do. You know what I'm saying? You like gaming.
But the gaming makes it to where even though you live far away, you can still do this together.
That's what I was getting
camping,
at. That it's a lot easier for us to get together in a game.
Keep the connection.
Than it is to do those other things.
Right.
Yep. So Ashley, so I would think that when you met him, there was a lot of other guys that were in the gaming because you met him in college. So
Correct.
that was probably a normal thing.
Yeah.
So how was it for you transitioning out of that and noticing that he liked to do it on his own time after college too? Like, was that something that was hard to get used to, or?
Not at all. It wasn't. Like I said, I like to have my time, kind of like Raven said. He likes to have his time.
Mhm.
So no, it wasn't difficult at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
And I bet back in the day, I can just imagine in the dorm rooms and stuff, there was some pretty rowdy games.
Yeah, they'd all be
That-
sitting on the
that were going on.
couch, sitting around. Yeah, it was the football games. I don't remember
Yeah.
any other ones. Maybe the shooting one.
The shooting, the Modern Warfare,
I don't know
Modern
what they're
Warfare, and all that. Yeah.
If y'all haven't realized yet, gaming isn't
So-
up my alley. But I do. I mean, there'd be a ton of them sitting in a room at the KA house, and they'd be watching.
But I'm going to
watching
jog her
those two
memory
games.
here, and I will say there was one game that she
Guitar
was
Hero.
actually Guitar
Yeah,
Hero.
that was popular.
She would come to the
Yeah,
house and all that,
that's
and
funny.
she would sit down. We have pictures of it too. She would sit Indian style. She would have the guitar, and she did pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't mind playing Guitar Hero. It just wasn't something I just couldn't wait.
Yeah.
It's like I couldn't wait to do that every day. It wasn't like that. I didn't mind playing it. I knew it made him happy, so I would do it.
Oh,
But
man.
it's not something that I just absolutely loved.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I miss is that
Oh,
my
yeah.
son and stuff, because they had Guitar Hero at the arcade at our hotel at Disney,
Whoa.
and
I
he
didn't
was
know that.
he was
That's
like, "What
awesome.
is this, Dad?" And I was like, "Son, you
felt like
don't
a
even
failure?
know." Like,
Can we
My
still get
son
a
doesn't
Wii?
know.
I don't know if they
I have
do.
Guitar
they
Hero
even
still.
have that for the like
That a
Wii
Wii?
and stuff.
You might
No,
have to
I
buy
have it
it.
on my 360 with 2 guitars still.
Oh
At my
man,
house.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Okay.
They gotta that needs to be a thing that
I know.
happens again because
Mm.
every kid should experience becoming a rock star. On
Yeah.
the video game.
I
It's
I
fun.
played Guitar Hero so much. Okay,
Yeah.
I remember that. We got a Wii. How old was I? I was
Wii.
probably okay.
Yeah.
You
I
even had a
I
Wii.
think
we
I
even
was
had a
in-
Wii.
Dude, the Wii was great.
Oh, I was like
golfing and
14.
fishing.
Yeah.
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 I was like 14 when we got a Wii, and oh my goodness, I was so good at Guitar Hero. I mean, I thought that I was so
toot over here. Tooting your own
Oh,
So
dude,
horn.
no,
I
you know
could
what
play-
I'm thinking? I'm thinking matchup at some point. That's what I'm thinking.
Oh yeah, we gotta
Hey.
do this the next
Hey.
time
it
we
might
come
come
over.
back. It might come back.
One of those
But
things
I
you don't
could
lose.
play. Do you know? Okay, so they had the orange button, right? Like the hard
The
level.
hard level, yeah.
Right. I could do that one. Do you know the hidden songs? Oh my gosh, what were they like?
Oh,
Raining
you was into it.
blood or something like
Raining
that.
blood.
I mean, it was something crazy, and I could play that on the hard level.
Wow.
Oh, that was so fun. I miss that. I miss like the immersive. And then they came out with some kind of console where you use your hands instead of like the controllers.
Yeah.
I can't remember what that was, but that sucked.
Well, I have one more question for you, Raven, just to see what you think on this. So, we both have sons. His name's Shep, and we both have 2 kids, right? And gaming obviously is part of the families, both of our families, and all that. How do you handle that with your upbringing of your kids and stuff like that?
Mm.
Like, is there a certain limit? Is there hey, all hands on deck, hey, this is what this is part of the family thing? Or do you say, hey, we need to just let it happen naturally? You get what I'm saying? So how do you handle the upbringing of your kids with this new kind of generation of like, hey, your father even games? Because I don't think any of us had dads that really played games when we was growing up. This is kind of a new thing.
Yeah. I'm just going to jump in really quick. Some of my fondest memories with my dad is us playing like Mario Kart and stuff together.
Yeah.
And that's something that I try to pass down with my son. Like we do those games together, And I think you can go into more detail about trying to limit or get time away from that. Like just today, you asked us to go downstairs.
Yeah.
We were up here
A
playing.
healthy balance, I think.
Yeah. So like, I'll let you speak into that.
I think that I didn't necessarily like that he was exposed so young to video games because, I mean, he just turned 5. And he's probably been playing video games for a solid 2 years.
Same age I Shep is starting.
Guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he probably since he was, I don't know, 2.5, 3, he's been playing video games.
We got pictures of him in my lap as a baby while I'm sitting there playing.
So like that's not my favorite, and I don't feel like I had a huge say so, but I also I never had experience with it, so I didn't know
uncharted waters.
Where to like draw a line. Yeah. But there's definitely been some moments where I feel like it's hard to balance because now that I have a second kid, I find myself letting him have more time gaming. And so more time than I want him to. And there are moments when he's very emotional and he doesn't want to get off of it. And then it's a big fight and then he gets in trouble.
Why don't you talk about the educational games too? Like you've kind of redirected it.
Oh yeah, I mean I have positives to it.
No, no, fine.
But I do love how he connects with Josh this way through gaming, and it's something that he looks forward to. I think that so I struggle with it because now that we live in this home, they're upstairs, we're downstairs. So it used to be the shop. So I mean, it is closer, but they're still away from us. So most of the time, Judah and I, my youngest son and I, are downstairs, and they're up here. So it's still like we're not actually spending time together.
Separated.
Yeah. So usually when Josh is up here, Shep is up here, and so there are moments when I'm like, okay, it's been long enough. It's been like 2 hours. It's like that's plenty of time.
And like today we played some, and then when Judah went down for a nap, we went over to the land to stick out some corn over at the feeders and stuff, and we went and explored the stream and stuff. Like we did some outside time.
Yeah, like
That's
some
good.
more quality.
Getting in the mud.
Something else quality with Dad other than video games.
Mix it up, and then after we get back here, we can rest. And I was up here playing and actually had time to hold Judah, and we both ate while I was playing some Marvel Snap on Steam.
Yeah.
Just like
I think
there's
I think there's a healthy balance, and I'm starting to learn more of what my comfort level is, and I would say most of the time Josh honors that. There are some times when he doesn't.
Well, sometimes she's unreasonable, and it's just
Right. Okay. So,
but no. Go ahead.
Well, I will say, so I do see. So Shep is very smart, and I do see a lot of things. I mean, there are some games that he plays, and I'm like, wow, that's incredible. He's only 4, or he just turned 5, and he can play Zelda. I mean, it's really awesome to see our son be able to do that. And so for Christmas, instead of him just playing games on his tablet, he has a tablet too.
Mm-hmm.
I got him something called Osmo. Have y'all heard of that?
No, I haven't. Have you?
I hadn't heard of
that. So you stick the tablet, any tablet, Android or an iPad, and you stick it in this like an A-frame kind of looking thing, and then it has like a little mirrored piece that goes on top of it that reflects the screen onto a pad that comes with it, and it is a tactile stimulation game. So he has pieces. He has like 6 different boxes of pieces, and he can choose from 6 or 7 different games. So let's just say it's like a numbers game. And so there's this game where he goes fishing, and it has bubbles, and he has to add or subtract numbers to get to break the bubbles. And so he has actual pieces of like the number 6, the number 4, or he has dice. And so he has to put them on the pad, physically put them on the pad, and it pops up on the screen. So it's a visual and a tactile game.
Okay.
And he loves it because he loves games, but at the same time it's educational and he's moving. He's not just staring at a screen.
And our son's in he goes to an actual like pre-K class, and they play on the tablets and do games. So
wow.
In the school they have their own tablets and stuff, and they do that sort of thing, like the same kind of thing and stuff. So I agree too. The educational stuff is kind of better. Like they can have fun. Like my son plays Paw Patrol for the first time, and he's getting used to controls. But the educational standpoint of it, just like learning the days of the week, or like you said, the adding, subtracting. We might have to look into the Osmo though. I mean, because that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool to do.
It's just like so just real quick, and this is a little tangent, but Josh and I both have our own stories about our dads, but we seeing, and by that I mean estranged, but seeing how much he bonds with him through video games, there's something that I really love about that. And so he really looks forward to it. And I think there's just something really special about it. So, I mean, sometimes it's a love-hate relationship, but for the most part, I really do love to see how much he loves playing games with him. And now they can honestly play together. And I'm sure he does not play this game, but I'm sure he would do pretty well if he played some kind of shooting game with him, which is incredible because he just turned 5.
Which we used to, and I've kind of backed him off of that because he's just not ready. But when he's ready, we're going to be busting some skulls together.
Halo. Awesome. Oh, Halo. What do you think? Yeah. What do you think about how it's been going with it?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think there's always a healthy balance. Arshette plays t-ball, and I like that he gets outside. I mean, he likes to go ride his little boat control. What is it? Not an SUV, but side by side. I mean, I definitely think there's a healthy balance. I don't mind Arshette playing video. I have no issue with that, as long as he's doing other things too.
Yeah. We try to balance, like you said, kind of balance out of like, hey, it's not every single day just playing a game and stuff. He'll play a game and then it's like, hey, if he needs to do something or clean up his toys, it's like, okay, that's enough of the game. Yeah. But something that kind of struck me, Raven, when you was talking about, because this is something we, with our daughter being 13, it's not new to us with the video game thing, right? So she's kind of went through that stage and now she's a teenager. And one of the things that she used to have the situations where she would get upset if we took her off the game. So just kind of elaborate a little bit more is a lot of games are online now, right? And you can't pause an online game. And I know the older generation never really understood that when it's time to get off or something like that. You can't just pause like the regular Nintendo, the Super Nintendo, pause the game, right? And you spend your time going through this game. And then if you don't pause it and you just turn it off, you lose everything, right? Well, that's one thing I always told myself with Addie is, hey, where you at on that game? And she's like, oh, I'm about to come to a point. Okay. And I'm speaking specifically in reference to like Roblox, right? Because she played Roblox for so long. And I tried to be patient and kind of work with her with that because I kind of have an understanding of that. But at the same time, it's like there was times where she would kind of push and it'd be like,
I'm not done yet.
Yeah.
20 minutes later, I'm not done yet.
And we had to put like a time of like, okay, we're not going to do this when it's time to get off. When we tell you to get off, it's time to get off. And, we never wanted her to be emotional with it to a point of like it becomes a behavioral issue, right?
And it didn't.
And it never did. Because
we put a stop to it, probably.
We put a stop to it, but it's so easy for that if you just, like you said, if you don't monitor it, like you said, after 2 hours, okay, let's come downstairs, If you have some of these kids, and I think that's what gives other kids a bad rap, is they'll sit up there for the whole day, for 8 hours, 10 hours, every day, during Christmas break, constantly just on there PlayStation or whatever the entire day, and they get so addicted to it, and that's all they want to do. They don't want to go outside. They don't want to do the activities, and you start the behavior issues. And I mean, I'm not a scientist. I can't say that. I'm just basing it off my experience and my experience raising one kid that went through all that stage is that she still plays. She enjoys it, but I don't feel like it's a priority.
It's not
to her anymore. She still plays like Animal Crossing on the Switch, Roblox, you know, like I bought her a gift card for Christmas. Or Santa brought her a gift card. But I'm just saying that I think it comes into a situation that if you don't do that, like what y'all are doing and put a limit, it becomes an issue. I think that's when it becomes an issue. I don't think like the older generation is specifically just if you play games. It's not that. It's not like that. Just because you play games does not make you a certain way.
And if you play shooting games, it doesn't mean you're going to be a killer.
No, I mean, look at me. I play shooting games my whole life, and now look, I'm a, you know.
I hear that all the time, though. Your husband plays video games, shooting games.
Yeah.
Is he a killer?
Yeah.
I do think there's a line on those games of like becoming desensitized to seeing things like that. As a nurse, seeing kids come in the clinic, like.
Well, I have to disagree with that for one reason is because, well, okay, let me give you a one situation. I might agree and disagree, okay? When I was growing up, Mortal Kombat was a game that was very popular. Congress tried to ban that game. And we played it, and it showed blood. It showed, like, eating half the body and all this kind of, every kind of thing, right? And they were saying that. They were saying it was desensitized and all this stuff. And I don't feel like it got to that point with us, with me, I would say, right? But now games are better graphics and more realistic than back in those days. So I feel like that could be an issue.
Possibly,
like you're saying.
You have a different perspective from you were saying being a nurse. I mean, you probably saw things that, you know, make you feel that way.
So I think the whole, I don't know. I mean, it is definitely. I was thinking when you were talking about Mortal Kombat, I was thinking about the graphics were terrible for that.
Yeah,
and a lot of the characters are unrealistic, so they're fictional. But here you're talking about men, you know, shooting men or women shooting other men or women, hiding, using different weapons.
But see,
and then also talking to each other. So I mean, it's very, you know.
But I'm also thinking about that was the most realistic to us, the most realistic graphics at the time. But also, that's why I threw in at the same time, I think the more realistic it goes, the harder it is to distinguish between reality
and not.
Maybe
also that comes back into play of healthy boundaries with video games.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I think it's going to get to a point to where it does can get scary. Look at everything coming out with artificial intelligence. Soon, these games are going to be able to talk to you and carry on a conversation. And that could be dangerous, especially for kids.
Speaking of that, real quick, there was, Gino, you probably know this, or you've probably heard this, but there was an AI going around that is calling family members and letting them know that their loved one is in the hospital and not giving any details, and people are panicking, and somehow it's going around doing that, and I'm not sure if there's some kind of scam related to it, but just the fact of it taking someone else's voice and making it seem like they're in distress. So the AI is pretending it's someone, the person who's in distress, saying, I've been in an accident. I'm going to the hospital.
Yeah.
And so.
Oh, yeah. I heard about that.
But have you also.
So there's one story.
No, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay. No, I was just going to say that there was one story about a mom who got a call from her daughter that was like, please help me. I've been taken. Please.
I've heard about
That's
it.
what I was going to tell you about.
She starts freaking out.
Virtual kidnapping.
Okay, so I don't know the story well, so you could probably explain it better.
I don't know the story well. I was just going to see if y'all had heard of that. I glanced up at the news the other day, and I half paying attention to the kids, half paying attention to the TV. But they were talking about, it was like virtual kidnappings. And there was this child or teenager on the side of a mountain getting rescued or something like that. I don't know, but it's like they were told to do that. I don't know the details around it, but the fact that a kidnapping can happen without somebody actually taking you is crazy.
From AI.
Yeah.
Like,
is that really
what
kidnapping
he's talking about?
Well, you know what I'm saying?
I remember. Okay, so it must have been a video that we watched.
Yeah, I
of
think
that.
it was on
Because
Ninjas or Butterflies.
Yeah, well-
they were talking about.
Oh, okay. So I saw comments or something on the situation I gave you guys. There were comments, and I was reading through them, and they were saying, "This happened to my dad," or "This happened recently."
What if
with
that
a different
was
scenario.
AI though, making the comment, just trying to spread fear about itself? What if
I just got chills.
What if
I don't
we're
know.
AI right now talking to each
What
other?
if this is not even true? We're all
What if-
just dead. This is just a dream.
Stop.
Yeah, but if I was AI, could I do this? No, couldn't. Or maybe I could.
Well, I mean, the AI thing is, I think, I'm kind of going into the AI. I think it is pretty serious. Once they become conscious or have a conscious, I think that's when we should worry. You ever seen
so there's
Terminator?
already a
I mean,
game.
come on.
Yeah. Have you even seen Terminator? Man.
Does
Come on.
anybody know how history works? I mean,
I know.
Are you
I know.
Sarah? So there's already a game out, which is pretty crazy. And it looks pretty fun. It doesn't look graphic or anything, but basically you're playing a vampire and you're going to houses and you're speaking to the owners of these houses because a vampire cannot come in the house unless they're invited.
right.
So you're talking with an AI trying to convince them to let you in the house. And there's a guy that I watched doing this, and he's having a full conversation with this AI trying to convince it to let him in. And dude, it's pretty wild. Like, I can just imagine what implications are going to be in the future for this. It's going to be pretty wild, and I want my kid to be away from it.
They're going to implement it.
But I want to do it, though. Like, I want to have some fun with it.
Hey,
it's going to be cool.
Hey, put it in. Let's go. Let's load up.
Jack me in, bro.
Yeah.
I know Kung Fu, bro.
Well, I will say this. We're gonna try to wrap this up. I know
work tomorrow.
She's so excited. But
we definitely have to do it again, though, because this was a pretty good podcast with both of these girls. They did an amazing job.
They did an awesome job.
Thanks for knowing nothing about video games.
Yeah, but the perspective, I think we went over some good perspectives, guys. If you have any questions for them that you want to ask, we can definitely get it back to y'all if they're willing to answer us. But I think they came with some good perspectives on everything. Talked about how there's a healthy dose today in reference to bringing up the kids along with our relationships together. But the main thing I want to mention, and Gray, I'm sure you can agree, is we really appreciate the support on everything. I love you.
Love you too.
And,
love you, baby.
It means a lot and stuff. And just to be able to talk to you guys out there. So if you enjoy the podcast, make sure you hit like and subscribe for more content as well. Always.
And if you want some pictures of my wife's feet, reach out to us. I'm just kidding. No, but really, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, not about my wife's feet, just joking, you weirdos.
He's got to say
reach out to GGRated channel at gmail.com. That's GGRated channel at gmail.com. Reach out, ask us some questions. We would love to commune with you on the podcast.
Last thing, NCAA football 25. Possibly an announcement trailer for the national championship game. Y'all stay tuned. Y'all enjoy it. We'll see y'all the next time. Thank you for joining in.
Bye, guys.
Wait, I gotta go on this side.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.
I can't hear the music, but